right, everybody. It is my super pleasure and super excited to introduce our host tonight. So we are going to have Leslie begin on. Let me tell you a little bit about Leslie's background. Leslie's been coaching for 13 years. I get the privilege of having known her for about those 13 years as well. Here's some really cool things. Leslie, over her career of coaching, at some point she's had an impact or coached directly 5,500 people as clients. And here's another one. Through the work that she's done in not only working with people, but building a team of people, she's impacted close to 250,000 people. And she has 6 daughters, and she's been married to Trey for 23 years. So welcome tonight. We are so excited to have you present with us on this Element 16.
All right. Well, thank you, Craig. Yes, I've known Craig since the beginning. And I was a little bit sassy and like, I'm not actually going to do this. Like, if you're requiring like work, I'm not going to really be interested. Like, and 13 years later, it's not work. It's a passion. It's a mission. It's a ministry. It's something that has radically changed my life and the lives of so many others. So thanks for your patience in the early days, Craig. And
Yeah.
glad to be here tonight. Well, this topic is super, super close to my heart. I was asked by Optavia Corporate to do this call when we did corporate-led calls for these topics and these elements. And I have multiple that are on the YouTube area. And I'm going to give you a link to one when I'm done talking that has my friend Molly and my husband sharing very vulnerably about their food addiction or their addiction issues as well. This topic we're going to talk about today is overcoming food addiction, or how to deal with addictive foods, or I have it because I have my life book, but I don't have the actual title of the element. So dealing with addictive foods, that's it. And this topic once offended me because the truth often confronts us and offends us. Does anyone have that experience in life? What I need you to know before I start talking is I am not perfect. I'm a person in progress. And so tonight I'm asking you to come to this open and willing to answer some questions. Tonight, we're going to identify your susceptibility to addictive foods. We're going to let you know that there is no shame if you are susceptible to addictive foods. And I'm going to give you some practical ways for you to start to overcome these addictions. Now, what I want you to know is this life book is life changing. And the Element 16, I've done it no less than 7 times. I still am a person in recovery. I still ate scones this weekend, and it triggered me to eat some more things that I didn't plan on. And anyway, I'm telling you, I'm not perfect, but I've made significant progress over the years. So today I want to encourage you to take some notes because I'm believing that if we're dedicating our most valuable asset, time to this, then there is going to be something in it for you that you need to write down. My friend once told me the dullest pencil is sharper than the sharpest mind. So if something hits you in the chest or it makes you think, oh, then write it down because you have something to think about later. So first, I want to tell you that Dr. A's Habits of Health, which is available as an audiobook in your client app under the Learn tab, is so good to help remove shame from people, from us. In the beginning chapter, section, it talks about how it's actually not our fault that we battle the battles we battle when we're on this health journey. Because we were designed to live in this time and place where we hunted and gathered for food. So when we found a berry bush, we ate all the berries on the berry bush because we didn't know the next time we'd find a berry bush. That would be binge eating now, right? But at the time, we were designed to do it because we didn't know when our next sustenance was going to come in. So now we live in a day and age where food scientists and marketing specialists and accounting departments decide what low-cost ingredients we should put into our food. And they make it highly addictive. And there's a berry bush on every corner. in the form of a fast food restaurant or a gas station or a grocery store filled with unhealthy, addictive choices. I mean, obviously, berries are a healthy option, but the proverbial berry bush, they're everywhere now. And it's not your fault that you have an addictive tendency when it comes to those foods. They're researched and developed so that you will be addicted. And it's a legal addiction. And there's no shame attached to it in our culture. No one at the baby shower is going to be like, girl, you are overweight. Put down the cupcake. You are asking for type 2 diabetes. No, instead, they're like, hey, why aren't you eating the cake? Just try a little in moderation. It won't hurt. Just eat some of the cake. Have you tried the dip that Sue made? Anyone else been there? You go to a restaurant and people are like, just have a little chips and queso, not a big deal. Everything in moderation. And the truth is, you're not good at moderation with chips and queso. You face plant into bowls of queso on your hard days. It doesn't stop with just one chip and one dip, typically. They're not saying, hey, that chips and queso, it's going to lead to long-term disease, friends. Stop it. Put the chips down. These habits are leading to heart disease and heart attacks and stroke and diabetes. It's leading to premature death. Yet instead of saying that, we say, why aren't you eating this? It's a legal addiction. There's no shame attached. In fact, there in our culture is shame attached to not trying grandma's pie. What if it's the last time you can eat it? It's a scarcity mentality, right? So, socially and culturally, it's totally acceptable to be addicted to food. We had two friends who lost sons in a short period of time. Trey had mentored one of the sons, the other one was like a brother to both of us. And they both died of heroin addiction in a couple of months. My husband is a recovering alcoholic. There was so much shame attached to those addictions. But food addiction, it's celebrated, it's promoted even. And it's weird if you don't give into it. So I want to move into some of the facts that Dr. A. Leeds gives in this element. He talks about how these habits with addictive food lead to heart disease, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, premature death, like I just said earlier. And as Americans, we eat 156 pounds of refined sugar a year. 100, that is more than some of you weigh of eating refined sugar in a year. 26 teaspoons a day. I really forgot that I was going to do this. I left it downstairs, but I wanted to just be my child. My dear child is coming in. No, my, oh, good. Yeah. Round of applause. 26 teaspoons a day of hidden sugar in our food or just knocked into our food. I love you. You can do this later. No, I love you. Thank you. I help. That's the way you redirect. I love you so much, honey. Healthy food, Dr. A talks about, leads to vibrant, healthy, radiant life. Unhealthy food to poor chronically poor health. So using this book as a reference, and she is darling, Jan Paxman, thank you. She is. They all are. There is an explanation in here. And so if you are a science person, which I love science, you should go into element 16 and read it. But I'm going to do the Leslie Begin version of the science for you. Okay. There is this hormone in your body called leptin. And leptin is a hunger suppressant hormone, meaning when leptin is released into your body, it tells you, girl, that's good. Bruh. My kids say bruh all the time. They call me bruh. 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 You've had enough is what leptin tells your body. Okay. So when your blood sugar goes up with the simple carbs and simple sugars, when your blood sugar goes up, insulin is released and insulin suppresses the release of leptin. So your insulin goes up, it stops leptin. So your body no longer has the bruh, you've had enough signal going on. Instead, it's like, hey, give me more. Insulin's up, now it's crashing. Give me some more Oreos. And then you go back for more. You never feel full because the leptin is suppressed. And this leads to cravings and addictions. So now you know what neurochemical cocktail is happening while you're sitting on the couch going back for another serving of whatever it is. Then, uh, the other interesting thing is dopamine. A lot of people are like, when I get it, when I eat the thing, I get this dopamine hit. Dopamine doesn't happen when you eat it, as in, like, hey, I got a reward, yay. Dopamine is actually the anticipation of gratification. It's like, when I eat that, I'm going to feel so good. When I eat it, I'm going to feel so good. Okay, I ate it. And then it says, when I eat the next one, it's going to feel so good. If I eat another one, I'm going to feel so good, but it needs a little bit more to get the same amount of hit that it was getting. So once that burst of dopamine is gone, we need more to get to the next high. So I want to go through some of the questions in here. And I know my friend Chris had put the link in the chat, but this is on 322 of your life book. And I bought a new life book to go through it again. Just a thing, like you can buy a new one. It's like cheap. Okay. So so mine is blank. It's a brand new book. Anyway, we'll move on. Okay, so you're gonna get that quiz and we're gonna go through it together. So I'm gonna have you open it up. If you can't open it up because you're on your phone, girl, just or guy, bruh, just go ahead and you're gonna answer rarely, occasionally, or daily for each one of these things. Okay. So number one, I find it difficult to control how much I eat. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. Now, I need you to know I don't actually have trouble with what I eat. I replace sugar. Like I modify this with sugar. Sugar is my thing. So I want you to write this down on a piece of paper or note in your phone, okay?
Hey,
Because you're,
Leslie, by the way, the we do have the online quiz that as you're going through that the
yeah,
link Chris put in there so they can
Chris
be
just put the
answering it.
online quiz in the chat. So you can just go ahead and click on that and go through it, and it will add it up for you, which is a lovely way to do it. So you don't have to count at night. Okay. But if you are unable to use that link for some reason, just get a piece of paper and a crayon and write R, O, or D for every one of these, rarely, occasionally, and daily. Okay. And if you have your life book, since somebody does, they're a great student in here. It's page 322. Okay. So number one, I find it difficult to control how much sugar I eat. That's what my thing is. Okay. I find it difficult to control how much I eat. Some of you, it is the queso. You're like, yeah, I drive a bus off a cliff into a bowl of queso when I am going into a binge. Okay. Um, Rarely, occasionally, daily. I crash. Number two, I crash in the afternoon and have trouble waking up in the morning. Rarely, occasionally, daily. Before this program, that was my MO. I missed out on life because I needed a nap every afternoon. Number three, I have cravings for specific foods, rarely, occasionally, or daily. I suffer from moodiness, headaches, or fogginess, rarely, occasionally, daily. You know, there's a lot of perimenopause. I'm not disregarding it. I'm 44. I get it. There's a lot of menopause, perimenopause, whatever. ADHD, I have that diagnosed as well, which makes these Zooms fun with me. And so a lot of people blame brain fog, a lot of brain fog on things that I'm like, if you just cut out sugar and like refined carbs, you might be surprised by how your brain is focused after a couple of weeks of detox. Okay. Number five, when I only eat a moderate amount of food or sugar or whatever your drug of choice is, I am not satisfied. Rarely, occasionally, daily. Number six, I feel guilty after eating. Rarely, occasionally, daily. I spend a considerable amount of time thinking about food. Rarely, occasionally, daily. I eat even if I'm not hungry because I crave a specific food, rarely, occasionally, daily. I eat large amounts of food and feel powerless to stop. Or I eat large amounts of sugar and feel powerless to stop. Or I drink large amounts of wine and feel powerless to stop. Rarely, occasionally, daily. And number 10, finally, I crave carbohydrates like pasta, bread, white rice, or desserts. Rarely, occasionally, daily. Okay, so I want you to add up, if you didn't do the online quiz, if you have greater than 6 rarelies, then you have a low susceptibility to food addiction. And I just invite you to stay on here tonight and learn on behalf of other people and gain compassion for other people in your life. Greater than 6 occasionallys, it's a moderate susceptibility to food addiction. So there may be some things that you need to lay aside because they cause you to overeat or overdo it. Greater than 6 dailies, it's a high susceptibility of food addiction. So if you would like to share that in the chat, you can. High, low, moderate, high. If you want to keep that to yourself and hold it close to your heart, I trust you too. Um, but I remember when my coach talked to me about this program, and she was like, I said, I set a goal weight and it put me right on the edge of a BMI that was underweight. I mean, not underweight. Oh my gosh, I've never been tempted to be underweight in my life. It would put me at healthy weight and overweight. Okay. And so she said, I think that's a great first goal, but I would really like to get you into the middle of the BMI, healthy BMI, because then if you have a cookie at Christmas time or something, we'll make sure that you don't bump into the overweight category. And I thought that makes sense. Going to the middle of the healthy BMI makes sense to me. But what it didn't make sense to me was one cookie, because cookies came in threes to me. Like cookies came in threes. And if I finished the three and I was still craving more, what I really know is that insulin peaked and then was plummeting down, and leptin was not suppressed. And my neurochemical cocktail was just craving the anticipation of the reward and the next dopamine hit. I needed 3 more, not just 1 more, 3 more. So 3 plus 3, that's 6 cookies. And then if it was still wasn't satisfied, I was going for the next one, next set of 3, because cookies were in 3. So when she said a cookie, I almost had an emotional breakdown, not joking. I had to talk myself off a ledge, because a life without cookies was, what kind of life was that? Like I literally thought those thoughts. I almost quit the program before I even started because of the thought of one cookie. Because if that's what it was going to take to get healthy, sacrificing cookies, I didn't want to be in. And here's the thing, the 5-in-1, Optavia 5-in-1, 5-in-1 active, 4-in-2, 3-2-1, whatever program you want to do that is balancing your blood sugar out, is a truly amazing gift. Because once I did start and I decided, if I'm doing this, I'm going all in, meaning no cookies for a while. I couldn't tell myself no cookies forever. I imagined myself putting cookies on the top shelf of the pantry and which I just got rid of them. But anyway, these programs that we have get us to a place where our blood sugar is balanced, where leptin is able to be expressed instead of suppressed, where insulin is regulated because we don't have the peaks and the valleys. We then don't have all those cravings that are dictating our decisions. I've been sober from alcohol for over 10 years, but I have not made a decision in full transparency to give up all susceptible foods. Some of us with high susceptibility will feel most free in life and will have most chains broken off of us if we treat sugar as if it's cocaine. And Dr. A says that in the book. He shows this beautiful little picture. in the book where it shows, and you know what? It's in Dr. A's Habits of Health, where it shows what your brain looks like when it's high on cocaine and what your brain looks like when it's high on sugar. And it looks pretty much the same. He says you may need to treat these foods as if they are cocaine. So when I choose a cookie, I know I'm choosing to live with low energy, brain fog, and I'm entering into a mental, physical, and emotional battle with food. I'm choosing chains instead of freedom. And tonight, I'm choosing to check myself and I'm challenging you to. True, you don't snort cookies. Do not snort cookies. Somebody said that in the chat. ADHD, I check the chat as we go. Um, when my husband went through his rock bottom, I realized how much AA resembles what we do with Optavia or any of the recovery programs. In AA, they talk about a dry drunk. They choose to give up alcohol, but they don't choose to do the work, the mental, emotional work. They describe a dry drunk as restless, irritable, and discontent. And I found myself before I started programming, did a lot of the mental, emotional work. I found myself acting like a dry drunk when I gave up the sugary foods. I was focusing on what I had to avoid, like what I was living without instead of what I was creating. I was aggravated when there was sugar in my house. I called my coach crying from a campfire. I walked away from a campfire because everyone was eating s'mores and I was crying about it. Why do they get to eat s'mores and I don't get to eat s'mores? And she's like, did you bring a s'more crunch bar? I'm like, yes, but. And so I was very emotional. And I was romanticizing the days that I could eat whatever I wanted, whatever I wanted. I was jealous of friends who could just eat whatever they wanted, not gain any weight. And when I chose to do the work, this book and Dr. A's Habits of Health, those are our big book, like AA. These meetings are our meetings where you get together with community, with people who've had the similar struggles that you've had, along with being active on client support pages on Facebook. Coaching is like sponsoring somebody. So there's some of you who have struggled to stick to the program. There's some of you who have struggled to move your health journey forward. There's some of you have struggled and you're just struggling and struggling. And I want to suggest humbly that coaching may be the best fit for you. Because the 12 steps are I've done the 12 steps for codependency recovery. I did it with a sponsor. I went to meetings. I did the whole thing, read the literature, did the literature. The 12th step is you carry the message into the world. Why? Because it makes you continue to work your steps over and over and over. It keeps you accountable on a very different level. So whether you're just in it to help a few people so that you're working your steps and getting healthy, or whether I guarantee, had I not decided to coach, I would have regained every single pound and more. And yet now I've been a living, breathing example of health and true moderation for my daughters. My daughters are incredible athletes. They are only focused on strength and not skinny. They are like beasts when it comes to setting goals of building muscles. And I'm so proud of that because they've seen a healthy mom who's blessed her body, who set goals for her body. But I guarantee, had I not decided to coach Amanda and Tasha, I would not have stuck to this program. I only was doing it for Amanda and Tasha. I was going to tell everyone else, sorry, you get to stay chubby. I'm only helping Tasha and Amanda. But when my friend May confronted me on a girls' night out and she was like, what are you doing? If it's crack, I'll do it. I just need to get healthy again. I was like, it's not crack. Okay, I guess I'll help you too, May. And one person led to another person, led to another person, because I realized my journey was actually intended to help somebody else. So if you've been struggling, I encourage you to just be open to the thought that you need to do the book work. You need to be at the meetings, especially on the days that you don't think you need them, because you need to be there for someone else. You need to make sure that you are in community and that you are engaged with your coach and you're helping someone else. That's your system for success. That wasn't in my notes. Um, Focus on what you're choosing, not what you're avoiding. I am a person that I'm permissive, not prohibitive. I'm giving myself permission to live a fully radiant life. I'm not able to have the cookie. I am choosing to live a fully radiant life with energy and confidence. We have tools in this community like Stop, Challenge, Choose, where you can say, I am going to choose not, if I could get whatever, ask your coach about Stop, Challenge, Choose if you haven't learned about it yet, because it is the moment that you're going to change everything and use tools to help yourself change. And here's the hope. If you can be addicted to a substance, you can be addicted to success and growth. You can be addicted to health. What you thought was a curse is actually a blessing. You can be fully focused on something and fully focused on getting healthy and staying healthy. So, I want to give you a couple pieces of advice, and then we're going to be done. I want you to get really good at standing up to yourself and for yourself. To yourself being like, no, girl, you're not going to eat the cookie tonight because you made a promise to yourself that you're going to get as healthy as you can so that you can live with confidence and feel amazing in your clothing. And you will feel so great this summer in your own skin. Put the cookie down. I want you to get confident with standing up for yourself, saying, no, thanks so much. I actually have huge goals I'm working toward and I'm pursuing my health. And I'm so thankful you're going to be so supportive to the people in your life. I want you to declare your goals out loud to your 5 closest friends. I want you to declare your goals out loud on social media for the whole world to see. So that when you go to the grocery store, people aren't in the South, they call it buggy. In the North, it was a shopping cart. Um, so when people see you walking down the grocery store aisle with your buggy, they look in it and you're like, they all know I'm going for this thing. I can't put the triple stuffed Oreos, mega stuffed Oreos in it. Cookies were my thing. You get it? I can't put the ice cream in there. They'll think you can't go to the Mexican restaurant and order the chimichanga, because there's people watching from around town. The best security blanket you can have is living your life out loud with social public accountability. And wherever you are, you will be held accountable. And then the final piece of advice I want to give you is find a therapist. Find help. Your coach is your cheerleader. Your coach is your guide. Your coach is not your therapist. And some of you need therapy. I recommend therapy to so many people. I've paid for so many hours of therapy. It helped me break the chains of these things in my head so that I could be free here, so I can make choices instead of letting other things decide for me, out external factors. So I want you, as an action, to identify one action you're going to take tonight. And I want you to text your coach. Okay, I'm going to just put a stupid post on Facebook and say, I am prioritizing my health and myself in 2026. Who else is doing it? So we can have an accountability group. They can join the metabolic reset project and they can come and get some accountability. I'm going to do a video in there. It's going to be so awesome. But you can invite somebody along in the journey with you. You can say, okay, I'm gonna live it out loud. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about that stupid coaching you've been talking about. She's right. I need to help someone else. You could say, I'm committed to coming to this call once a week. I need you to make a commitment. So that is my time. And I just want to thank you so much for sitting with me tonight. I wish we would have been sitting face to face over a cup of tea and we would have been able to have a heart to heart, because that would have made me so much more excited. That's my heart. That's what I love to do.
Mm.
But I hope tonight, because of the vulnerability that I shared, that you felt connected and it gave you empowerment to go and make a decision. So thank you guys.
Thank you,
Right?
Leslie. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Put a 10 in the chat if you got some nuggets out of Leslie's talk tonight. I want to remind you we have our Let's Talk. All of these are recorded, and we have a library hosted on YouTube. It's at Optimal Health 365. And next week, February 23rd, we have our once a month Q&A with our health professionals. So we're looking forward to having you next week on our Let's Talk live Q&A with our health professionals. Thanks again, everybody. I hope you have a great evening.
Bye, y'all.